Welcome to 5 Minutes, your quick dive into the wide-ranging world of insurance, technology, and leadership. I'm Miguel Edwards, and I'll be your guide as we explore these topics that are transforming not just the insurance industry, but the business world at large. Along with sharing observations I've made over the span of my career in insurance, technology, and operations, I'll be chatting with some of the brightest minds in business and leadership. Whether you're a seasoned executive or a rising star, an industry expert, or just curious about how technology is revolutionizing insurance, this is your perfect spot for your weekly dose of insights. This is 5 Minutes.
When we are faced with a negative situation, an outcome that didn't go our way, we should, or maybe it was a situation where the plan didn't go according to plan. Mm-hmm. We should stop and mentally ask ourselves, what does this situation make possible that otherwise would not have been possible? I'll give you just this is a real life example. This morning, there's a Panera, coffee shop not too far from where we live. And this morning I had a 9 a.m. meeting scheduled to go over there and meet someone, a business person, and also a pastor over at this coffee shop. And I show up and it gets to be about 10 after 9. And it gets to be about 9:15, and I'm texting this individual. They haven't shown up. And it turned out that we got our calendars mixed up. They thought it was at a different time and so forth. And we couldn't have the meeting. They weren't there. Luckily, I had brought a book with me. I enjoy reading good books. And I took about 30 minutes then to have a great cup of coffee and fill my brain with some content and some reading that was really fantastic information. I'm glad I had that time. And that was what was made possible by the unfortunate event and situation that I wasn't able to meet the gentleman that I was there to meet with. And so just looking and reframing, it's a reframing exercise at the end of the day is what this is. It is an opportunity to take something that's a negative or something that didn't go according to plan or something that we feel like, gosh, I sure messed that up or I screwed that up. And we reframe it, moving from what I call the gap into what we refer to as the gain. And I ended up gaining by reading the book and having time that I otherwise wouldn't have had.
I love it. So based on that and lots of the other discussions that we've had, Greg, it seems like what you've done really is kind of codify an approach and a way of thinking and structures to making this transition. I guess that all that's embedded and built into the Confident Consulting course. Could you go into a little bit more detail in terms of, kind of what's all included in some of the hows and the what's that go into that learning experience?
Love to. And like I said, in mid-February, we'll have some announcements come out that folks can sign. Well, in fact, they should sign up on our email list if they haven't, because that's how we communicate most of the time, or find our LinkedIn page or our Facebook page or Instagram or whatever. But Confident Consultant, the name is just as it says, right? It's straightforward. That if you think about the very nature of being a consultant or a fractional executive, confidence is a key element of the deliverable. Look, no one hires a not confident or a lacking confidence consultant. Right? Now, we could have also said competent, right? Because they wouldn't hire someone lacking in competence either. But we're going to assume the fact that somebody's taken this bold step to become an entrepreneurial consultant or a fractional executive, they have the experience, they have the expertise, they have the competence. Now, not everybody has the confidence. And so a couple of the modules I'll just quickly walk you through. So there is a module about assessing whether or not making and taking that break-free leap, leaving the corporate job and going to life as an entrepreneur and a consultant, fractional exec, is that right for you? There's a module and a process that we walk folks through around that, specifically an assessment that we've created about that. So there is a section about, ultimately, are you going to do this as a side gig type things? A lot of folks will do that. Or for other folks, they'll say, hey, look, I was laid off and I'm ready to just go ahead and start this process because I'm in, as I like to say, I'm in the garden pasture anyway. I'm walking around the garden pasture. I'm not in a 9 to 5 right now.
Thank you for joining this episode of 5 Minutes. If you've enjoyed our discussion, we'd love for you to share it with anyone else you think might find it interesting. Also, please subscribe on whatever podcast platform you're listening on and hit that bell to stay on top of the game with our practical 5-minute episodes. We look forward to seeing you again next week.